Hi, ready. Jason, thanks for joining us. There's nothing better than getting a text from your esteemed co-host saying the dog walk went a little long, as if that's a good excuse for being a couple minutes late for our recording session.
Yeah, well, that's my bad. We ended up going a little bit longer. We wanted to it was chilly out, so we were able to really push it. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes when it's too hot out, the dogs will get a little fucked up. And also, I'm sorry, I'm a little mentally out of it because I spelled Avery Trufelman wrong on the episode yesterday.
I think you corrected it and now it's still wrong. Is that possible?
I'm learning that right now. Avery just texted me, so we can do this in real time. Do you know how to spell her name? Because I don't.
I believe it's Truffelman.
Trufelman. Got it. This is the magic. It's happening right now. Episode updated. Jason, my dear friend, my name is still misspelled. I am so sorry. I am telling you, Ellis Island really wanted me to suffer. I'm recording How Long Gone right now, and I just made the change in real time. It will be on the show on Friday. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm glad we're letting people in a little peek behind the curtain.
Peek behind the curtain.
The sausage gets made, and basically the way the sausage gets made is Jason messes up, and then the public tells him so, which is, you know, obviously this is a small error, and Jason works hard for his money. But in the age we live in, you have to be publicly shamed for a spelling error. So thank you guys for letting us know. Avery did not publicly shame. Avery had a clever response.
No, nobody shamed me at all. But I think, you know, when it is a hard thing to breach, I guess not a hard thing to breach, but when somebody has spelled your name wrong on something, it's, you know, that's public facing, and then corrects it incorrectly.
Yeah, it's not great.
You know, I think you have a right to be like, hey, you spelled my name wrong. And I think it's really sweet and nice and considerate when people are like, I'm so sorry to do this. I'm sorry I bug you, but you spelled my name wrong. For me, it's just like, bro, you spelled my shit wrong, change it. And then they're the ones who should be sorry.
I think her name has probably been misspelled her whole life, is my guess, which is unfortunate. And I think but there's a lot of people that like post, you know, all the times their name is misspelled in emails, and it's like, bro, what are you trying to, like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's I guess is the final form or the bottom of that barrel posting your incorrectly spelled Starbucks cup. Like, that's when you when there's a slow news day, it's like Tyga had lunch with Bad Baby. But when it's a slow life day, you're like, maybe they spelled Stephanie with 2 F's instead of 1. Oh, I need to post this, add a filter to it, tag, you know, hashtag Starbucks cup problems.
If you think you're going to get a free, you know, cappuccino out of the Starbucks Corporation because an employee at store number 169066667 made a mistake on your order, you're sadly mistaken. And any employee that's being paid that little to make that drink for you does not deserve to be shamed in any way. Even if you don't you know, tag them, or they don't ever know, you know.
Starbucks pays their employees super well, Chris. Don't you say
Not well enough, bro. No one can pay me enough to fucking, you know, put croissants in a convection oven at 4 a.m.
No one can pay Chris enough, but shout out to all of our essential workers who do work at Spotify, who do work at Starbucks, who say, you can pay me enough to do it, because otherwise I'm living in my car. Anyway, let's move on. Chris and I, we're going to New York City tomorrow. We have a classic Chris Black flight where I'll be waking up at 4 a.m.
You didn't have to take the same flight as me, bro. If you're not rise and grind, don't pretend to be. Like, this is a lifestyle. Also, it's honestly better, and I think you know that deep down, because it gets you into New York at a reasonable time where you still have a little bit.
I can admit to you and my audience here that it is nice to arrive into New York at 3 p.m., you know, fight traffic and get into the city and check in your hotel around 5 p.m. That is nice to do that. But is it worth waking up at 4 a.m?
Yeah, I'll get up. I get up at 4. I get up at 5. So getting up at 4:30.
Unless there's a largemouth bass on the other end of that alarm clock, I don't really like. There's 4 a.m. is I mean, I wake up at 5:30 or something like that every day, and it's fine. But like 4 a.m. is a little tough. But I mean, not for you.
Four is not great. 4 is not great, but I'm used to it. And also, Jason,
You're used to it, but you're an anomaly. You have to admit that.
yeah, no, for sure. But it's also like an East Coast thing, I think, because I'm communicating with people on the East Coast for business purposes. I like to have an hour to myself before I go see Hunter, where I can respond to some emails that might have come in, morning EST.
So why don't you start waking up at 4 a.m. every day? Because that's 7 a.m. EST, right? If I do my math correctly.
Yeah, you did, and I would obviously like to do that, but I'm a pussy, and I'm much like
He's
I'm
a
trying
pussy.
to. I'm trying to do
He's
it.
a
I'll get there.
sleepy little pussy.
But I'm not really that worried about you getting up at 4 because, thanks to me, you're going to have room to stretch out in the Delta One laydown cabin.
Thank you so much for buying me a Delta One flight, Chris. That was a cool gift, and I gotta say, it feels nice to open up the boarding pass on my Delta app, and it says row 1.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's all you want.
Some Princess Diaries type shit over here. Chris brought it to life. I don't even want to know how much you spent on this ticket, brother man, but let's just say you did good.
Money's no object when it comes to my co-host and business partner. I need you relaxed and comfortable because you become an ornery little bitch if you don't, if you aren't. And I unfortunately have seen it. And if I can prevent that, it's better for this program and my wallet. So don't think I'm doing this because I like you or care about you. It's strictly about money.
Because you don't want me to turn into an ornery little bitch, because it'll happen. I'll go 0 to bitch in 60 seconds.
I can't have you going Karen in the Delta Lounge on my Amex. That's all.
I'm going to go Azalea mode if I don't get if I don't get everything I need. No, I mean, it's great because I will be able to enter our nice Delta One first class seat. My John and Vinny's fucking cookie will be ready to go for breakfast, and then I will edit this episode that we're recording right now, starting at 7 and maybe about 6:20 a.m. tomorrow.
Once you have those John and Vinny's curated bacon, on the plane.
John and Vinny's. I did not order John and Vinny's bacon.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if there's bacon.
There might be.
I could be
I
wrong.
think I got a cheesy scramble. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a cheesy scramble. Also, I want to shout out to Squirrel. We went yesterday, and I posted a picture, and multiple people were like, "Oh, mold!" And I'm like, "What year is it, losers?"
Well, I mean, it has nothing to do with me supports. Well, I guess it kind of goes back to the posting your misspelled Starbucks order. It's like it's our reptile shitty brain of like, we see a picture of squirrel. We didn't get enough attention as a child, so now we have to respond to Chris Black's Instagram post with a joke about mold that doesn't really deliver anything funny or new. And it's kind of like when you make a 9/11 joke. We've talked about this before. You can do it. It just has to be a home run. So if you can make a squirrel mold joke in 2022, January, damn near February. Okay. I mean, sorry, damn near March.
Damn near.
It's March 2022. You can make a squirrel mold joke all you want. Just do it. Have it be a home run. That's all you have to do.
You're not going to get a digital laugh out of me. I'll tell you that right fucking now.
The day after squirrel mold happened, I didn't even see a home run joke. I made jokes about it. None of them were home runs. And shout out to the guy who runs an Arc'teryx Instagram page, Arc Boys with a Z maybe. He wanted to take a picture of me wearing an Arc'teryx jacket, and he was wearing Insomniac brand Jinko sweatpants in a kind of a green yellow lava lamp.
Very cool.
They were very cool. And shout out to Insomniac. You guys are cool. Not as cool as Golden Voice.
Jason, we do have a guest today.
Yes, we do. We got my man Matt. He's a cookbook author, writer. He does a food website called Taste Cooking. His new book, Food IQ, that he wrote with a guy named Daniel Holzman, I believe it's out now. It's 100 questions, answers, and recipes to raise your cooking smarts. So this is...
Luckily, the publisher was kind enough to send me a copy so I can start my cooking journey. I think this is the day that I finally understand what cast iron is.
Well, let's give Matt a Zoom, and we'll chat further.
Matt, look, thank you for joining us, but why on earth would you ask Jason to blurb your book? Do you think that's going to actually help you sell some copies, or is this just something you thought was like a nice little joke?
Gentlemen, nice to be here. I gotta say, them jeans, I mean, I was a fan of the stew.
Mm-hmm. Smart man.
Come on, I go back. No, Jason, I mean, I thought that he kind of hits the food, zeitgeist in a cool way. And Jason, I know you cook at home because we're going to write that column for Taste, and I'm still waiting on that copy.
Oh, I'm a busy girl in podcast land. Don't worry, I'm still thinking about it, but I think I need to get an assistant who can do my recipe writing or something like that. I need an intern to kind of scribe down my measurements. I work in grams.
You could ask Allison Roman. I'm sure she would help you out, Jason, if that's what you need. But no, I think Jason's a great choice. I'm only kidding, of course.
Is he though?
It went to his head a little bit, and as far as his food writing goes, his Substack is dormant, and the fans are upset about that. But I think after he got the Grove Street diet, Matt, he thought he could hang his jersey in the rafters, and he was done discussing food in the written word.
It was whenever I have extra time, I'm like, maybe I'll write something, but I just haven't had any extra time is the problem. And then I'm just focusing on the pod, and it takes up all of my time. So I don't have any time to write, unfortunately.
I mean, for real, like no joke. We talked about banh mi for I would say 3 or 4 texts, and when we had that kind of disastrous meal of Vasalka, which I want to talk about because I feel pressure because that was bullshit, and it was on me to.
Oh no!
I mean the cream cheese. Let's talk about the cream cheese, man.
Wait, you guys went to hold on. Did you guys go to Vaselka before 3 a.m.? First mistake.
We went there for breakfast.
Oh God, you guys are fucking gross. Go ahead. Now,
I mean, I called it because I like the blintzes, but Jason ordered a bagel because it's New York, and they brought out this tiny Philadelphia cream cheese single serve, and Jason, man, I felt
it was definitely cold.
It was definitely cold. like you had the plastic for a knife or some shit in there. But I feel like I felt bad.
I could have got a better bagel at the airport.
It felt that way. I felt like I was about to go take you out for some Sabra hummus at CVS afterwards. That's how bad that shit was.
I mean, that's pretty rough to go to a legendary New York institution and get Philadelphia cream cheese in a single serve cup. But also, I have to blame Jason just a tad for ordering incorrectly. You only get there's only certain things you get there. I would assume.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't go there. It's gross. I don't go to diner. I don't go to diner type establishments. I just not for me. But I know that it's a New York institution because it's famous for pierogies. Is what my understanding is. Correct.
Yeah, that's my guy. I like pierogies. I like blintzes. I'll get the burger once in a while. I think the 3 a.m. call is correct, though. For a quick breakfast meeting in the East Village, I used to live at 7th and A, and that was my spot because Sidewalk was extremely gross, so we couldn't go there.
That's true. I agree with you. As an East Village resident, I only go to Mogador, really.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't. And Mogador gets very lit, so it's not quick most of the time. But during the week, it can be mellow. If you're on a Tuesday morning, it's
what the hell are you guys talking about? Quit naming all these damn restaurants. I never heard of any of these places.
No, Jason only wants to talk about South Beverly Grill and
no.
Mastro's Steakhouse. So Matt, I need to ask Matt, Jason, while we have another food expert and a voice in the space. Mm-hmm. How obnoxious are you, Matt? Can you go to a regular restaurant like a normal person and just enjoy it, or are you I have to go somewhere freaky and have something freaky for it to even for me to even get out of bed? How bad are you?
Well, the freakiness, there's a spectrum, first of all, Chris, but go ahead.
I mean, in our book Food IQ, we talk about snobbery, food snob and being a freak. I gotta say,
very cool. I agree.
Yeah, very cool, and it's a very big problem with food writing. Cool. Yeah, very cool. I don't know, man. I feel like there's too much of that happening in food writing, and we really tried to, with the book, address some of the snobbery that people have. I mean, what do you mean by freak, though?
How exactly did you try to address that?
Frozen fish, man. You can cook with it. Frozen fish is a great example. People would never write about frozen fish, especially like 2012 food writing. Like,
I mean, I guess David Chang would write about it just because he's lazy now, but
I don't know. I think like we want this book. It's like democratizes home cooking in a way, and really, there's so much snobbery in food, and like food is fun, and like we like talk about the microwave, which is a boring ass subject, and I know it's been covered well, like using your microwave, blah blah blah. But for real, like food writing in 12, I've done this for 15 years, and we were in a different zone, like 10 years ago, where we were talking about honestly like slaving over the like farmers market too much and not thinking about our readers who are like want to cook.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with a bag of frozen corn. We don't have to go to the fucking farmer's market.
I'm gonna disagree with the corn, actually. Sorry.
What?
Matt, there's no reason to go to the farmer's market. It's hell on earth. Farmer's market is the worst. I mean, you live in New York, so it's a little bit better, I guess. But in LA, it's an excuse. It's like a social thing.
Chris, your opinion on this is a little moot because you've never cooked any vegetable or food in your entire life. So
I don't need to cook to understand a scene, Jason, and that's what you need to recognize about me.
I mean, it's like somebody who's never painted being like, "Oh, I hate this art supply store. There's a bunch of fucking brushes and paint here."
No. I think that the people who go, the farmer's market has become sort of a signifier of a certain kind of like young, upwardly mobile person's weekend.
Yeah, that happened in like the 70s or earlier.
No. I don't think it did. I think it's hit. I think Instagram has ushered it into a new zone. Matt, am I crazy here?
You're not crazy, but I'll say I went to the Santa Monica Farmers Market like a year ago. I took a photo of some produce. It was a Cara orange. Homeboy, like the guy yelled at me and told me to delete my phone like I'd been taking some pics of something top secret.
What? Why?
I don't know, man.
So you didn't upskirt at the farmer's market and got caught, and now you want to blame.
I assume that you didn't buy the Cara.
No, I had bought stuff from him. I was upskirting some sumo mandarins, and like it was really interesting. And Chris, to answer your question, I think the market has become a bit of an activity, like a social activity that doesn't have shit to do with the market and the food. But like in New York, like the Union Square Farmers Market is legitimately like a holy place. Like
yeah, for sure,
great stuff there, and you know, all the farmers from upstate New York are there. But it's annoying. Yes, it's extremely annoying. One thing I'll say, what we write about in the book is the farmers markets have to be expensive. Like the reason is we pay so little for produce, especially on the East Coast. Like California produce is a little different. But we just don't pay enough for some of these farmers.
It's a lot different, sweetheart. It's a lot different. Go ahead.
So, man,
it's actually good.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean,
well, I don't think there's anything wrong with a farmer's market becoming like a social experience to enjoy. Like, it's a place where people can buy healthy food and support small business. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, if you're like a busy chef who's trying to buy all of your produce for the week, and there's a bunch of TikTokers, you know, blocking your way, then that's one thing. But like,
bro, I had to fight Bobby Flay for the last sugar snap peas last time. So I don't think you understand what we're going through. Because do you go anymore, Jason, or not really?
Fuck no.
During
COVID, I stopped going during COVID because you had to wait in line to go to the farmer's market, and then I was like, I'm out forever. I'm never coming to the farmer's market ever again. And also the problem is there's the store cookbook here where the produce they get is as good as the produce at the farmer's market. So fuck it. Who cares? And I can go there anytime I want.
Chris, do you hang with Brooks Headley? Like that guy is always at the farmer's market speaking to the East Village.
No, I don't. I'm a big fan of his work, but no, I don't. I've never met him. I've never.
Well, that's a guy who goes to the market legitimately every day. He makes his gelatos and ices directly from that market, and like he's like not the annoying chef who's there. Pretty much, I'll say that.
No, he seems like a hater in a good way, you know, and in a similar. No, I think this problem is much worse in LA because there's like not a lot to do here in the way that New York you can just walk around. But you know what I mean? It's like you go to Atwater. Jason, we used to go to Atwater on Sunday, and it's like people are putting on their coolest outfits. Like it's like young family with hokas on and a tote bag and a stroller. It's that's the vibe, and it's like wall to wall.
Because that's literally our target demographic. We can't piss those people off.
I don't want to see them anywhere. I just want them to buy our stuff. I don't need to. No, but I mean, I think it's a necessary evil, and I agree with you, Jason. Obviously, like the benefits outweigh the negatives.
To me, as long as I can go to the farmer's market, all the stuff that I wanted to get, all my dumbass little sprouts are there, and they're not sold out of my micro celery, then yeah, fuck it, go. Let all these people sell out of all their shit. Take photos of your stone fruit, put it on Instagram, spread the news. I think that's good because these people are having a hard time, making their ends meet.
It is like a line situation now. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, as soon as you have to wait in line with all these stroller motherfuckers, I'm out, bro. I'll be at Ralph's. And it's hard to steal from the farmer's market. That's kind of what it really comes down to.
Guilty.
Or I guess it's not hard. I feel bad.
At Jeff Bezos' Whole Food, Jason will stuff a whole bird in his jeans. He's not afraid to walk out with a rotisserie in his right leg of his Jinkos.
No. Frozen pheasant goes right down the Jinkos.
Okay, can we circle back to the frozen corn thing? I gotta say, I feel badly about shutting you down.
No,
Jason,
don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
That's not my vibe.
I like frozen peas and frozen corn. I think it's easier to find some better year-round than going fresh, but I'd love to hear your fresh take on it, Matt.
Well, my point is, I think like corn is best fresh. Like obviously that's something that's going to break down into frozen form, but like peas are perfect for frozen. Like you definitely want to buy frozen peas, like because of shelling peas and that 2 week or 3 week window in May is annoying, and it's not great. Like it's not really going to net the great pea kind of experience that they expect. So I'm all about. I set myself up, Chris. I set myself up with that one.
No. I just have never thought about a pea experience.
Whereas I constantly think about pea experiences. Yeah, I mean, but yes, frozen peas they translate the best for frozen, fresh to frozen. The window of ripeness and freshness and seasonality is small. But the same thing for corn. It's only available during some part of the year for the high quality stuff. And number two, shucking it, cleaning it, all that stuff, it's a pain in the ass. And if you can get some really fresh, spring, nice, like more higher end frozen corn and not just like supermarket shit.
Yeah.
And actually, like you were talking about the microwave before, if you bring it back to life with the microwave, with a good defrosting, you can get a pretty damn good tasting corn, depending on what your application is.
Yeah, and you want like risotto is perfect for frozen peas. Like risotto, like make a risotto with frozen peas. Don't like worry about the fresh stuff. So,
bro, it's 2022. Nobody's making risotto anymore, are they?
I mean,
just because this recipe is in your book and you're trying to push it, I get that. But we're in a post risotto world, aren't we?
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's
Matt, the vibe has shifted.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you agree?
I agree. Risotto is fine. Like it's fine. But I want to know, you guys are going to be in New York. Do you have dining plans? Can we talk about that?
We're going to the grill. We're going to a dinner at the grill.
Oh, cool. Nice.
On an unnamed night. I'll be getting the pressed duck, of course.
Yeah. I like that
because I've always wanted to.
That's the only kind of restaurant I want to go to. So I'll be hitting that with Jason. And
the only type of restaurant he wants to go to is costs way too much money and the food isn't great, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
I'll hit Suin, of course, and Balthazar.
I had a Balthazar experience recently. The room was hot, of course. I feel the seafood tower is lacking.
The room was hot.
Well, much like the grill. Hot room. Don't go there for the food.
Food's pretty good at grill. Is it not good?
I'm sure. I don't know. I'm not able to afford the food at the grill, so I haven't tried it yet. But I did have, a couple $27 smoked old fashions with, a woodpecker's feather in it or some shit like that.
You seem pretty happy with those.
Yeah, those were going down a real treat.
Jason isn't like going to Brooklyn to have the hot pasta. I don't think, unless he's got some. No.
When I'm in New York, I like to live as the New Yorkers do and just kind of cruise around. If I get hungry, I'll grab a slice. If this place looks good, I'll give it a try. But to me, we were talking about yesterday with Avery. what was it called? Media gout. I get restaurant gout in New York because there's just so much. And it's so easy to build your entire trip around it. If you want to do it quickly, you have to. You'd be like, well, we can't do this lunch on Tuesday because we have this dinner on Tuesday and we're getting dumplings here, so we can't get dim sum here, and I'll be too full for this. And it's like, it's so much more work than I plan or I like to do when I'm on holiday. So I'm just like, wherever the wind may blow me.
I like that.
And my life partner hates that, which is understandable.
I mean, I live there, so it's different. But like, Jason, even the trip you just went to Mexico, I felt like the whole point was to eat. That's like what you did.
That's right.
And I just don't care. Like, I want to go to the cool places, but like, I don't care enough to be like, okay, at 6 p.m. I mean, people have 4 meals a day, you know, and it's just like, what do you do? Like, that can't be good anymore. It can't actually taste good.
I mean, when you have like the memo of restaurants, that can be really, really tough. Like, you get a sinking feeling. It's like a sinking anxiety when you get those like lists. Like, it sucks.
It becomes homework, and I don't want to do work.
I gotta can I give you homework? The Residora.
That's a good transition. Yeah, and I totally get that. You're 100% right. But Residora, what you should do? What is that? The name of an app that you make reservations on, or is this the name of a restaurant? Residora is for the nonas.
Are you saying that Resi and DoorDash have combined forces?
It's good experiential marketing.
Oh, Residora is spelled with a Z.
Yeah, Residora. Listen, like, I know you've had like a checkered past with Italy following your trip to the Amalfi.
Checkered past.
I know that the food and Rome is like not awesome.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But listen,
go ahead.
Like, Emilia Romagna, that's the spot I feel for Italy. It's not like a great tourist. Like, there's not a lot of shit to do. So this restaurant I went to last night, I just happened to go there with my buddy. It's like really legitimately good, and the stuffed pastas there. I've never had anything in LA like it. I know that dude with the rolling pin does those pastas, but
you talking about the Funk Man?
Yeah,
that's Jason's boy.
Pin, man.
Jason loves the Funk Man.
Well, I just tried to make a reservation for Sunday, and there's nothing available at Residora.
You got the plug?
Residora. You got the plug, bro? Come on.
I could try.
That doesn't sound confident, Matt.
So you ate there alone, Dua Lipa style?
No, I went with my couple friends last night, and it's on East 20th. It's on East 20th. Mm. It's right by Gramercy Tavern, so you could actually hit a Gramercy Tavern and have a drink there while you're waiting.
Around the corner from G-Tav? That's my spot,
Jason.
bro.
Jason, you could have the nice tasting menu at the tavern and then head over, just do a double dinner, really get
we
it.
That's a Louis C.K. style. Bang, bang. Love that guy. So there's a Korean spot that I like to go to with friend of the show, David Cho.
Oh, yeah.
Where they serve grilled intestines, and that's probably... that's a don't miss experience in New York dining for me. And there's also a banh mi Saigon, a banh mi spot in Chinatown. You've been there before. It's delicious.
I'll shout out, her name is Han. I think you're talking about Gapchang Story. That's the spot that you go to for the intestines.
Yes.
I think her name is Han. I wrote a book about Korean food a few years ago with my buddy Dookie, and no plugs. No plugs. We went to Her Name is Han. That spot was
sick.
We went there a lot, and that place is really good. It's on 31st Street. It feels like Seoul a lot. It's good.
Mm-hmm. I like places where there's a goal and there's a direction, and it's very clear. And Korean food does that, where it's like, here you are, here's where you're sitting, this is the menu, there's 3 things, everyone orders this one thing, and start power drinking now, versus just the bullshit of like, well, the chef likes to have all the orders in at once, and he'll pace it out, and we'll do the whole cauliflower, and then we'll do the bison ribs, and it takes so long, and you're just like, all right, hurry up. It takes an hour to get the martini, and you're over it. The Koreans just do it better.
That's because all waiters talk too much. They want to explain to you how they do it differently or how it's going to come. Like, do you think I obviously don't have a choice in how the food's going to come out? So you just bring it to me, Chief. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if you do it differently here, if it comes out as it's ready, or if I have no say in this. Like, I'm ordering from this menu and I'm paying for the food. It's going to come out however you fucking feel like it. So I don't know why you want to explain it to me, because what is my recourse, or is it just information gathering?
Yeah, it'd be cool if you could, if they're like, the chef actually asks that you order everything at once so he can course it out, and can you just be like, I ask that he doesn't?
Yeah, like what's the what is my comeback for? Yeah, like what is my comeback? No, I want the chips and guacamole at the end. How about that? Tell him to go fuck himself. Like there's no way this is gonna work.
I want the flourless chocolate lava cake as my amuse bouche.
Yeah.
What now?
Yeah, what about that?
Actually, speaking of guacamole, Matt, I saw in the friend of the show, Wall Street Journal, you posted a how to make a guacamole, and I think the big game is coming up this Sunday. I would like to know what you I'd like to know what you do to make your guacamole uniquely Matt.
Because Matt, Jason has a famous TJ guacamole as well.
No, I mean it's not famous, but what's the one? There's the lima bean one from whatchamacallit, Chris?
Oh, from being canceled in the New York Times. That one.
Yeah, that one. There's that one. There's a rare blue cheese guacamole. That every once in a while.
What? Blue cheese guacamole? Up. Who's is that? Like Guy Fieri, or is that a real chef?
Yeah, I saw it on some literally from being a teen watching Food Network, and I saw it's probably Bobby Flay or some bullshit. They're like making a guacamole with blue cheese, and I was like, this is the most twisted thing ever. But also, I love guacamole and I love blue cheese. I'll give it a try. And it's one of those you either love it or you hate it type of things. And I thought it was pretty interesting.
Well, we wrote this article in the New York Times, in the Wall Street Journal, and it was like an excerpt from our book, and we in the book write about guacamole, a real favorite of ours, and it's best with less is more. Like it's best with lime and cilantro, salt, and then great avocados. That's the headline. Of course, we added something because that's what annoying food writers do.
You put your foot in it, don't you, bro?
Well, I mean, we say this is it. Like basically,
you put your whole fucking boot in that guacamole.
This is it. It's mayonnaise and damn!
You took your Blundstone and you shoved mayonnaise into this guacamole. That's crazy, bro.
So we couched it with this idea, the creamy texture. Basically, the worst guacamole is under-seasoned guacamole, right? Like that's the worst when you go to a party and it's there's no salt.
Guac tip number 1. You should always add more salt.
I think so, or Worcestershire. That's another thing, but that's another day.
You guys are fucked up.
I know.
No, this is good. This is all good. I support.
You gonna put a piece of bacon in it too? What are we talking about here?
No, Chris. No. Sorry about my co-host Matt. He doesn't. He doesn't understand mayonnaise like we do.
So Matt, tell me what the mayonnaise does besides the creamy texture. Of course,
it adds a little bit of that salt that you need, and it does kind of whip it up a little bit in a way that I feel if you're gonna have a guacamole on chip for 1 or 2 bites, you gotta have a little bit more. I like it's kind of like the crema style that you get in taqueria sometimes, that guacamole sauce. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a riff on that too.
So mayonnaise being added for the salt level. That's not what I would expect you to say.
The issue is that you sometimes under-season if you're just doing it with lime and cilantro. So if you're adding a dollop of mayonnaise, you're adding the seasoning, you're adding the texture. It's kind of like the idea is it's adding a multiple things to this guacamole that might be a little bad and flabby. Mm-hmm. I like Worcestershire too. I didn't write about that. Jason, what's your guacamole?
I'm the same as you. I like exactly what you said. I do sometimes like to add tomato, but only when it's really good. But yeah, it has to super simple, really good avocados, salt, lime, onion. Sometimes I like garlic and tomato. And what's the other one that sometimes I like? Shit, I forgot.
Tomatillo.
Oh, I mean, no, raw jalapenos.
Oh, raw, yeah.
Oh, a jalapeno. I don't know if I've ever had that twisted version.
I think it's pretty standard to have jalapenos in your guacamole. It's not that crazy.
I thought there was some traditionalist bends to this discourse. I thought it was even adding tomato could be considered a step too far.
Potentially.
In a chunky variety.
But we're in mayonnaise country, so we're way past that, brother.
Yeah,
but I love mayonnaise as well as Worcestershire sauce. So I support both of those add-ins.
I love when people get creative with the avocados. You know what I mean? I think it's I
don't like it when they get creative with avocados.
Oh, really? You don't like avocado toast, Jason? Come on now, don't lie.
I don't know if that's super creative. I'm more of I don't like warm or hot or cooked avocado. I know a lot of people like an avocado tempura, for example, and I think that heating an avocado to me is Trey, disgusting.
But Chris, I was saying in New York, there's this thing like if you go to those like buffets, like those like really weird like lunch buffets that have like 85 items. There's this thing in New York that you never see anywhere else. It's like the half avocado with like a soy sauce. Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I just
are you saying like a soy sauce in where the pit would be?
So you're saying this is an avocado where the whole is just filled with loose soy sauce,
or a ponzu, or something like a sauce? It could be a yuzu.
But I feel I'm more concerned with viscosity levels here, because that's a runny little girl, and once you do one bite into the avocado, we're squirting everywhere.
Buyer beware.
Salad dressing, that's one thing.
Matt, you're saying this is good. You're saying this is like a must.
Matt, can you say on record whether or not this is good?
I would believe this is good.
Chris, do you care about the calorie content of avocado? I know that's a thing that people are a little concerned with.
I've been told that it's good fat. Am I wrong?
You are correct, but it also has a lot of calories in it. So if you're a calorie counter, it can be tough.
Luckily for you, Jason, I'm not really a calorie counter, but now that you've told me that, I'll never eat avocado again. So thanks for that. No, I love the beautiful flavor of the avocado. But
No. I think it's good, and I think avocado is an anti-bloating qualities.
Fuck up.
Fellas, as we get up there in those ages, you know what I mean? We'll take all the help we can get.
Matt, Jason thinks every food is non-bloating. I don't know. I don't know if you have any.
I didn't say every food. Celery root is at the top of my list.
Yeah, Jason, actually, let's talk about this drink. So we went to Squirrel yesterday, Matt, for a meeting, and Jason ordered this. What was that drink that you had, Jason?
It was a kefir elixir made with pink celery and baby's breath, baby hands. What's that? What's the fucked up orange or the fucked up lemon that looks like fingers?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Matt, come on, help me out.
Come on, Matt.
My brain is right. I don't know, man. This is like some California citrus that like
Buddha's hand. Buddha's hand.
Buddha's hand. Yeah.
You've seen that? That's the freakiest citrus in the whole fucking.
You guys, your citrus game is good.
Oh hell yeah! I sucked down 3 Tangies this morning like it was nothing. Like a fucking boss.
But this drink.
Okay, yeah. So it was like Buddha's hand, pink celery, and kefir. You know, it was definitely pre-made in a glass bottle. It was definitely $7-8. It was definitely delicious.
What is kefir again?
Matt?
Jason doesn't know.
It's fermented dairy. It's a yogurt second cousin.
Damn,
right?
so you're saying I had dairy? That's not anti-bloat.
It's a fermented milk drink, but I think when you have it in that situation, they strain out the milk solids, and then you're just drinking the water that has the bacteria bonded with it, and then that bacteria is a good probiotic for your gut health.
I understand. No, it did seem but it tasted good. I have to say, it did taste good.
Wait, so no pastries at Squirrel? You guys had like just...
No, I had a crispy rice bowl, of course. Jason had a I
had the brioche toast, run it through the garden, Chicago style.
There, I love that brioche toast. Yeah, the crispy rice with sorrel is like that's an all universe dish, man. That sorrel rice bowl, I love that place.
Matt's going on record. He's a squirrel lover. We said before you're not allowed to make a mold joke unless it's a home run. And do you have any home run mold jokes while we're there?
That mold thing that bummed me out. I can't even joke. I'm like no mold jokes. No. Absolutely not.
He's like, absolutely not.
I like it. But I was thinking about Squirrel yesterday, since we obviously were just at Squirrel. And I had carrot cake on the brain, Matt. You know how it gets sometimes. And I was thinking, when you get a nice layer cake, you'll have like the cake, you slice it, you put a little layer of frosting, another layer of cake. Sometimes they'll do like a little fruit or a jam in between the layers. You with me so far, Matt?
I followed the thread. It's great. What jam are you talking about?
Let's say instead of the jam, we have a carrot cake, a standard cream cheese frosting, of course, right? Anything else would be uncivilized. But then a thin layer of that sorrel or a carrot top kind of sweet pesto in between the layers. What do you think about this so far, Matt?
Well, first off, like a call back to the cream cheese. I mean, man, is this Philadelphia cream cheese?
Yeah, it's Philadelphia, but it's from a normal tub. It's whipped up a little bit, and it's at room temperature, the way Americans deserve it.
Are there other cream cheese hotspots, or is Philadelphia kind of known?
They're the Martin's potato of cream cheese. They have the whole market sewn up.
I can't get a special like Tucson cream cheese that's got like cactus in it or something. It's all
Tucson cream cheese. This man naming different cities. Oh hell no! I mean, I'm sure there's a great artisan cream cheese out there somewhere at a farmer's market in Maine by something Frog Hollow Creamery Laboratories or something. It's probably great, but you know, everyone just uses Philly.
I like the workshop, Jason. I feel Sorrel, an herbaceous riff with carrot cake feels modern.
Why is that so funny, Chris?
Because you're so
was modern
stupid.
being used a derogatory way, or
I think Matt is being very nice and entertaining. Some of your
okay, maybe less of a sorrel and more, because sometimes depending on seasonality, they'll flip flop between a sorrel pesto and a carrot top pesto. Obviously, a carrot top would be more on brand for a carrot cake.
I think if you tone down the sweetness in a carrot cake, you get the winner, because that's the biggest knock on it for people who are like carrot cake, like they like think it's a middling pastry. I feel like you're doing something that's going to work by dialing down the sweetness, bringing in an interesting single ingredient.
What about people like me who think that vegetables have no place in the dessert case?
No, Chris, you've eaten some like zucchini bread and shit before, right?
No, hell no, bro. I don't want none of that. No, dessert is chocolate and peanut butter. Those are the two things that are dessert.
Chris, are you saying it's gay to eat vegetable dessert?
Yes, I am actually. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So no carrot cake, no zucchini bread. I think that's
That's
much
about
right?
it. I'm just saying, like, why would you not get a delicious piece of? I mean, I also think cream cheese should stay out. I'm not a red velvet cat either.
Oh no.
Cream cheese is in the mayonnaise family for me, Matt. I'm sorry to break your heart. I don't fuck with the stuff. I don't touch the stuff.
Yeah.
Many people don't.
Is that true? I feel like they're both very popular white spreadables.
No. I mean, obviously they're very popular, but there's a whole world of people out there who can't handle anything creamy. No ranch dressing, no mayonnaise. No, and all of these, cream cheese, it's all disgusting to them.
They've never stepped foot in the Midwest. That's
I think
why.
that's me. I just discovered.
It's like the cilantro rule, 20% of people. No, you've always been like that. I know so many people who like the thought of putting like ranch or blue cheese on your salad is like vomit level asinine to them.
What about pizza ranch, Jason? I haven't talked to you about this. Pizza ranch, are you into that?
If I'm a bit on the hungover side and I'm eating a regular, just kind of fastball down the middle pepperoni pizza, I got a Coca-Cola in a bottle. The ranch is a welcome addition. I love it. It's just a guilty pleasure. It just works. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, it's the right answer. It's the correct answer. I think Detroit style ranch pizza is like probably the top pizza outside of New York style, obviously. But
yeah,
I mean, it's the perfect. I think ranch on pizza is like so perfect when you got the right. The right sauce. I think.
Yeah, it's the same way I was saying, like where there's certain foods where you're like, I just have to drink a Coca-Cola with this. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's the flora and fauna in your body. It's where you're at mentally in your life at that moment. And it's the type of food you're about to eat. Sometimes you're like, I just need a Coke. And sometimes you just need that ranch to kind of complete the circle.
Matt, what will you not fuck with? Like, what are you like? I won't eat mayonnaise. I won't eat ranch. I won't eat a lot of things. Obviously, I have a lot of problems.
He doesn't do Hokkaido urchin. It's only Santa Barbara. That's probably my only one.
Yeah.
What do you got, Matt? That's a good question.
Like for real, it's water packed tuna, man. I mean, tuna should be packed in oil. I feel water packed tuna is so bad. It is so bad.
Matt said, mayonnaise? Like water packed tuna. Matt said, I'm taking this down to the foodies.
I'm sorry.
When you have a water packed tuna, the water is in the can, and then you just take the water and you pour it down the drain, and then that's it. But the oil, when the oil soaks in the fishy flavor, it's so fishy. And then you what do you do with that oil? You can't put it down the drain.
Well, you got to drain the oil off. I agree. I just feel when you're cooking with tuna, I mean, yes, you can take water packed tuna and add a bunch of stuff like mayonnaise, for example. But I feel like if you're going to be having tuna and wanting to eat that flavor of tuna, don't add it with mayonnaise. I mean, you use the oil packed.
So if I just want to make a tuna fish sandwich on bread at my house, what do I do?
I mean, Ortiz, man, the olive oil packed tuna, Ortiz brand, and do. I don't like the mayonnaise style tuna salad. I like it with oh no, is that you're not feeling it?
All right, Matt, it was great talking to you.
Oh, yo, come on.
The food IQ is available in stores now.
Nah.
No, bro. Come on. No, puppy, no.
You guys are both gross is my takeaway. You guys are both nasty.
Okay, so you don't go to a nice American diner, get a little tuna melt and onion rings.
I'm sorry.
You're like, oh, sorry, is this from the Biarritz region of the south of France? Oil-packed tuna? Oh,
No, I don't ask for like the brand name, but I just feel tuna is such a great. I love the like tin fish, like conservas are great, and I think tuna is just it's like messed with when you add all that mayonnaise to it.
Not tin fish, Matt. We're not. Do you live
do
you live on a boat? I mean, like is this? I just don't understand.
What do you think about? I mean, I'm in the same boat. Tin fish is cool. Obviously, it's having a big moment right now, but to me, it's like if I'm going to eat the fish in a tin. Oh, you're going into the agreement that it's not going to be as good as fresh for sure. So why am I spending $22 for a can of tinned octopus that was, packed sometime in 2017? The agreement with tinned fish is that it's cheap. So I can't handle the ones where it's like $20 for a tin
I don't
of
know,
fish.
buddy. Jason, I don't agree with that. I feel like, especially like Portugal and Spain, like tin fish is not cheap, and it's like its own food category. And I feel like the like tinned octopus for like a small snack or like if you're entertaining, I feel like that's a great look, like to bring out some tin fish. I know that like the nouveau branding, the heavily branded brands can be a little annoying, but I feel like the root of it is like this is gorgeous seafood that's like really freshly caught and they're packing it with like a lot of care and
So you say they're treating it like my favorite frozen peas, kind of picked at the perfect optimal freshness and ripeness, handled with care, and packaged and preserved to enjoy with your family.
I agree. And like, who doesn't want a sardine from like the Basque region, right?
Me. That's who. No, but you're right. If you're gonna have a sardine out of a can, it should be from the Basque region. I will agree with that. Even I know that, and I'm dumb.
Yeah, but to me, I'm thinking canned sardines, and that's what models eat when they don't have enough money for smoothies. I don't know, it's not something that my American mouth has ever craved, and I know that I'm in a minority in that world.
But do you drink like do you have like aperitivo or like appetizers on like outside and shit like that? Like I feel like it's just like it's just there. It's perfect. It's just sitting there in your cupboard and it's ready for entertaining.
I do think I see that.
I guess
side
you're
of it
right.
for sure.
Yeah, that part is nice.
I like, and I'll take back what I said. I like a lot of these new brands. I was being a little like I was just annoyed with some of the artwork.
We were rubbing off on you a little bit. You thought you had to do a little shit talking to impress us? No.
I wasn't
It's
feeling
all
that
good,
way.
bro.
No, I just feel like the brands are great and like they're bringing these cool products to a wide audience. So I have no distrust. In
It seems like the market might already be saturated, to be honest. Like it seems like I don't even like any of this stuff, and I feel like I see new ones every day.
What's worse, Chris? That market or the non-alcoholic spirit market?
Oh,
It's a neck and neck competition for the bottom.
I can go in on that. I'm not a drinker myself, and I feel like some of those NA spirits are just such trash, man. I don't understand it one bit. I really don't. And I write about this stuff. I don't understand it.
So you said you were not a drinker?
Yeah. I don't drink. It's been like 6 years. I'm not a drinker. There's like one good NA product out there. It's called the Phony Negroni.
I unfortunately I can't try that based on the name, but I do believe you. Like I'm sure. I think that it's maybe you can agree with me because this is my thing. I understand why they exist and who they're for. And it's not for me, like a lot of music, I understand it's just not for me. But I think that like I don't know if you're like sober or not, but I am. And I think that most people I know drink water. You know what I mean? Or a Coke.
Bitters and soda, as far as you would go?
Yeah, do you do bitter soda, Chris?
No, that's against the rules, actually.
That's against the rules.
Because there's trace elements of alcohol in the bitters. Okay.
Yeah. And it's also like it doesn't taste that good.
I like it. As a former drinker, do you think there's something to be said, or like it's the missing element with non-alcoholic beverages or spirits is that kind of like alcohol burn?
Yep.
It's kind of like the impossible meat conundrum of like, what's the uncanny valley to cross over where you get that actual alcohol burn or sting, where it's like, yes, I hate myself, but without getting drunk. You know, do you think that'll ever happen?
Well, I agree with you. That's especially if you're starting a meal or starting like if you need something to wind down and you want that like bitter, astringent, savory hit that like a bourbon or gin would get you.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the bitterness or astringency. I'm talking about just like the burn that only literal alcohol can give you on the back of your throat, where it's like, like it kind of knocks your legs out from under you and lets you know what time it is, kind of thing. It changes, it shifts the vibe.
The truth.
Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I feel once you step away from it, and I'm just speaking on like a culinary level, like just the flavor level, you can really get that satisfaction of the burn that you're talking about with the right drink. Because I think you're trying to, you're obviously very conditioned as a drinker to have a certain response to that first cocktail at a dinner party or a cocktail party. So I don't know. There's like there's certain products that really do that, or certain drinks that do that. But I know Chris, this isn't really your world. I know it's a different way of looking. I look at it more from the culinary point of view, I guess.
Totally. No. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I think that is achievable. I just think that I have also just kind of conditioned myself, whereas I drink water and coffee, and those are basically the two things. And anything else at this point kind of tastes too sweet to me, no matter what it is. It's really weird. Like anything, like I haven't had a sip of a Coca-Cola in 5 years, probably. Like it doesn't interest me. I don't know. I'll have a ginger ale every once in a while. But that's mainly if I'm sick.
Medicinal purposes.
Everything's too sweet. I mean, obviously I know things are also bitter, and there's many flavors in our beautiful world.
Yeah, I think once you stop eating sweet stuff, you really sort of, your palate changes, and you it's like when you eat really healthy and then you eat Wendy's, your body goes on fucking Chernobyl meltdown, which is a good thing.
Once I stopped eating dessert, I think that's maybe part of it too.
But you said chocolate and peanut butter. It got me thinking, Chris, about chocolate and peanut butter and like seasonal Reese's. Like, do you hit one of those like once in a while, like once?
Unfortunately, that's unfortunately not how it works for me. I have to cut things out cold turkey. But are you kidding me? I would love to have a fucking Reese's, Christmas tree shape.
Also, where I grew up, we called it a Reese's, not a Reese's.
I guess I've been called out for that before.
There's no wrong way. Well, Matt said it first.
I did. I led with it on Midwest, so I said Reese's. That's me, so that's on me. Do you know that it's called Reese in Canada? For legitimately, it's called Reese.
Oh, like legally, there's no apostrophe S.
There's no apostrophe S legally in the country of Canada.
The government removed the apostrophe.
Damn, that's crazy.
Unwillingly. I sure could go for a Reese right now.
It doesn't feel right.
What does feel right in Canada,
The band Sloan, that feels right. I'll go I'll go to the Matt Hard. That is the greatest band in the world.
Sloan, bro, wow. You just reached deep into your bag for that one. I haven't thought about
Pornographers maybe a distant second, but fucking Sloan is like, honestly, 30 years. There's a great podcast called Sloancast. It sounds terrible, but I highly recommend it. They go through every album. I mean,
do you have to like Sloan to like the podcast, or is it just one of those, it's that good? I was asking sarcastically.
Yeah, I know you were. This is, but I'm unsarcastically answering it just to kind of gaslight you into liking the band Sloan, because it is truly the greatest band.
Yeah, Sloan is cool, man. Sloan is cool.
I like Sloan, but Canada's given us. You're gonna take Sloan over Bieber. That's crazy. But I mean, I would take Feist over Sloan, to be honest.
Well, let's talk about your book. Actually, no, we're all out of time, Matt. No, I'm just kidding. So, Food IQ, it answers questions about food and cooking that are not necessarily Googleable, which is sort of like that little fringe of cooking information that kind of pushes you from a good amateur home cook to somebody who actually understands it with in more of a three-dimensional world. So, what are some of these questions that are not necessarily Googleable?
Well, I feel it's true. We didn't want to write a book about Googleable questions because that's not a cool book. But we feel like people are talking about food more than ever, obviously. Like, we've just talked about Reese for the past, 50 minutes. But, food culture is not just about cooking. I feel like if you are at a meeting and, you're, presenting to a client and, half the people in that room are going to know about, kosher salt. For real. The that's like legit. So we wanted to address questions that we feel were at the tip of everyone's tongue. We call it like the foodie 2.0. Like the foodies have truly won, like legitimately. And so these questions are like not just like it's okay to use MSG. We talk about the different types of olive oils to use. I mean, it's and the cool thing about Food IQ is we definitely want people to cook these recipes because each question answer includes a recipe. So there's actually some like practical information there. We talk about the farmer's market a lot, actually. Talk about like coffee. I mean, for us, the book is really not just for home cooks, which I think appeals maybe to Chris a little bit because I know you're not a big cook, but dude, like I know you think about food once in a while.
I love ingredients. You know what I mean? So I do. I live an ingredient forward lifestyle, and I think there's something in this book for me as far as that stuff goes.
Legit. We have a chapter called Ingredients.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
And we think that everyone when they're food shopping, like they want to know about soy sauce, and a lot of cookbooks they either talk down because they're written from atop a mountain, which fine,
more than fine.
Great. I mean, I love books. But I feel like there's this need for a book that addresses these questions that the modern foodie wants to. I'm embracing that term, by the way. You hear it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm all for it.
It's just they're there and they're in our world, and we want to address them. So yeah.
Yeah. So like some of the questions, some of the broad ones, fresh versus dry herbs. What's the difference between Parmigiano Reggiano and Pecorino Romano? Like you said, like there's, what's my olive oil strategy? That sentence like jumped out to me as like that's unfortunately how I also talk. I would say that I would ask that question out loud to somebody. So that's when I knew I was like, okay, I fully understand what this book is about. And I think there's a lot of people who are teetering on Foodie 1.0, Foodie 2.0, take it to the next step because all those little pieces of information are what you kind of judge each other on of like, oh, this person knows their stuff versus not so much.
Yeah, 100%. And like once you like unpack a few of these answers, there's like a real joy to understanding about like coffee and understanding about pour over coffee and the way coffee is undervalued and how $6 is a great like probably too cheap for coffee. And so we just address these questions. I mean, the olive oil question, for example, like we think there's three types of olive oil. There's a cooking olive oil, and then there's a finishing olive oil, then there's like a fine olive oil, and we go into each one, like why you should buy each one.
Wait, is the fine olive oil just for drinking straight only?
Yeah, just do it. Yeah,
what's the difference between a finishing olive oil and a fine olive oil? Is it like the G-Wagon and then the AMG G-Wagon? Like they're both excellent cars, but one's just a little more luxurious?
One's really, really spicy. Like certain olive oils you want to have that really deep like spiciness that you only want to put on very, very specific, like finishing like a salad, for example. Like you really want, like olive, but there you definitely want your workhorse cooking olive oil too, and you don't want to like interchange them. So that's like that to us is like an important question because everyone's cooking with olive oil all the time. We talk about MSG, man, like straight up. MSG is like a very common question, but we're not just like saying it's okay to use MSG, which is kind of a tired subject in food media. Because obviously it's okay because it's everywhere. What we are talking about is MSG. You actually cook with it, but you're not cooking with it. You're not just shaking MSG onto a dish. You're cutting it. So our ratio is 1/4 teaspoons of MSG for 1 tablespoon of kosher salt.
Okay.
So like you're replacing salt with MSG?
Well, you're having this blend. So you're like having like a second little MSG salt urn, and you're putting that into like I would say like if you're finishing.
So you're making your own savory salt at home.
Yeah, you're making a savory salt and you're using it, like we have it with ceviche. Ceviche is great with this MSG salt.
Yeah.
Like because ceviche lime, like raw fish lime, and this MSG salt. Like Dan, my co-author, learned it from Peruvian chef, and this amazing dish. And I think MSG, you can't just like throw it into anything, right?
You got to use it sparingly and with a concerned eye.
Yeah, the number one rule of MSG, Chris knows this. You can always add more. You can never take it out.
That's right, Jason. That's right. I know a lot about that. Thank you for mentioning that.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you for taking the time to chat with us. Food IQ is out, available everywhere now, right?
It is, and foodiq.co is the website. And honestly, guys, I'm a fan of your show. I really appreciate what you do. It's really fun, and I know Avery yesterday was also saying she's a goner. So shout to what you do. I don't think you should have to like say why you're popular. I think that was funny. Why are you popular? Like, I mean, straight up. I hope you get a TV show. I hope you do that.
We love you, Matt. We love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for sending the books over, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Se a Milano piove, ti porto il sole. Se non trovi le parole sarò tutti 9. Questo invitone, ci faccio l'amore. Con le tipe come te ci gioca il dottore. Sai dove sono sta, porto amore in città. Vorrei amarti per sempre, dipende. Meglio se non mi guardi nei DM, bitch. Lo sai che questa è roba dell'high-tech e non lo capite mai. Se tu mi guardi dentro la chat non so